Hi, I'm Edgar.
And I'm Heather.
Welcome to another episode of Does a Decade Matter?
Where generations X and Y intersect to discuss, argue, and even sometimes agree on movies.
Welcome back.
It's been a while.
Yep. How are you feeling?
We've had some good days, we've had some bad days, but we're here.
We seem to have a cold. Possibly. Anyway.
Allergies.
Okay.
All of the allergies.
Yes, so excuse us if we sneeze. But
The sniffles will stay.
we're back.
Yeah, we had to take a little hiatus. Life got in the way.
Oh yeah, a lot in the way. Anyway, we're here to talk about The Mummy.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
2 questions.
Yes.
Is this related to the Tom Cruise movie, yes or no?
I do not believe so,
Okay.
but I haven't seen that one.
2. Was this released as a comedy?
I mean, was Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Then,
Is this just the poor man's Raiders?
no.
Okay, Brendan Fraser's the poor man's a lot of things.
This is true. I posit that Raiders of the Lost Ark is actually a lot funnier than your standard adventure movie, like your imagined standard adventure movie.
Right, but that's done on purpose.
I think a lot of this was done on purpose as
Okay.
well. Like it knew when to throw a punch and when to throw a joke.
And granted, I was slightly distracted.
Yep.
When did they get squishy?
What do you mean squishy?
When did Brendan Fraser and the chick get squishy for each other?
On the boat?
At the beginning?
Yeah, near the beginning, I think.
Because I was thinking to myself, she wasn't really a romantic interest. I think she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been reared to believe she needs the attention of a man.
Right.
But,
So when she gets the attention of the man who's about to be hanged,
yeah.
her interest is piqued, right?
Right. But
Because that's what she's been conditioned for.
Right. And I think this movie would have been just as good if they didn't get squishy.
Okay. I don't think that they were ever going to be on-screen equals because of the period in which this is set.
But she was
But
smart.
also Hollywood rules, right? Yeah, she was smart. She was a librarian.
Yeah, but she was really smart and knew a lot of things and was a klutz, because that's adorable.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
She was cast as a klutz because it's adorable.
Is
Or
it?
written as a klutz.
Okay, I'm asking you, is the klutziness adorable?
Personally, no.
Okay.
Get your shit together, woman.
She mostly had her shit together. She's an academic. She doesn't know how the real world works.
Oh, yeah, there's that. And she was only there because her daddy had money.
Because her daddy was an explorer.
The reason she was at the library doing the thing she did is because her parents had money. Largest patrons.
That doesn't mean money. Necessarily. It totally means money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, she was at no point during this entire movie ever taken seriously.
Sure she was. She was valued for her ability to translate ancient Egyptian.
Okay.
She knew stuff.
I know she knew stuff. But she was pretty.
Can someone not be pretty and smart?
Yes, but she wasn't... The whole point of her character was not because she was smart.
I felt like her intelligence actually played a major part in her role.
Okay. Maybe I'm overly sensitive. Maybe I don't know.
There's not a way for you to comment on that without sounding gaslighty.
I'm pretty.
I'll fix that in post.
Because I'm pretty. Good thing I'm smart.
Oh, yeah. Well, you are smart and pretty. You have a high int and charisma. I'm just gonna, assume... It's safe to assume that I'm just going to think of all movie characters as... with D&D stats.
Because D&D has become your life?
Kind of? Is that bad?
Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to describe people in terms of D&D characters.
Uh-huh.
Or at least D&D stats.
Okay.
Maybe even classes.
Okay.
Because it's common enough vernacular for anyone who's going to be listening to this.
AKA our friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, Dungeons and Dragons has enough of, a pop culture penetration.
Okay.
That, you can... It's a D&D thing. Oh, okay, yeah. And then it's either, I am done paying attention to any part of this conversation, or, oh, that's what you mean.
Right.
Okay. Nod and smile. So yeah, she had high int and charisma.
Okay.
And Brendan Fraser seemed to have above average charisma and he's mostly doing ranged fighting, so that's dexterity.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
He threw a couple punches.
Yeah, he did. But, whatever works for you.
Yeah. So, what did you think of this movie?
I thought it was campy.
Just campy? Okay.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's really hard for me to take Brendan Fraser seriously in anything.
Why?
Encino Man.
Okay. That was his third role? Maybe fourth?
Don't care. I understand he needed to make money. I mean, I get it. But it's really hard for me to take him seriously.
Now, was Encino Man his fault?
Okay, granted, his acting chops weren't given a huge range in that movie.
Also, it had Pauly Shore in it.
Well, that will take it down a notch,
yeah, that'll poison that well.
Yeah, no. And I always confuse him with, that guy from Arrested Development.
That guy from Arrested Development.
Yeah. The one who has it together.
Patrick Bateman?
That guy.
No, it's not Patrick Bateman. Patrick Bateman was the character from American Psycho.
Bateman is the last name.
Yeah.
So yes. That guy.
Sure.
Jason
Bateman. Yes, that's who it is.
The brother of the chick from Family Ties, which also doesn't lead you down
I haven't seen Family Ties.
doesn't lead you down a hole that you know.
Oh, Jason Bateman from Teen Wolf 2.
Yes. Which might as well have been Brendan Fraser. They're on par with each other.
What?
Yep. You heard it.
Wow. That is pretty damning.
And congratulations to him, they made more than one. This also looks like it could have been a movie based off of a Disney theme park ride.
It was Universal. And I think they made a Universal theme park ride based on this. Now, there were actually 4 movies. 4 movies in this series / universe.
Okay.
There were probably actually more than 4. So there was this one, The Mummy Returns.
Yep.
Which had a spin-off called The Scorpion King.
Is that the one with the rock?
I believe it is.
Why do I know this?
I don't know. And then
I think I'm more upset with myself that I knew that.
And then in 2008, they released The Mummy something Dragon King with Jet Li.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I still have not seen that one. I don't know if I've seen The Mummy Returns.
Huh.
Yes?
That's my huh.
Oh.
As in you'd want to?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh. Okay.
This seemed to be like one of Brendan Fraser's early popular movies?
Versus his early crap movies?
Well, okay, so the 2 years before this, he was in George of the Jungle.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
Which I think was supposed to be played for dumb, right?
Because it's George of the Jungle.
Right. And then after this,
Watch out for that tree.
After this, it was Dudley Do-Right, which you're playing a stupid character.
What is with him in cartoons?
I don't know. Monkey Bone? That's a cartoon, right?
I believe so.
Wasn't Monkey Bone the movie you were trying to make me watch?
No?
Okay.
I don't even know.
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Oh.
That was the third Mummy movie. That was out 10 years after this one.
No. I have never tried to make you watch Monkey Bone.
Okay.
No, because it has Chris Kattan in it.
I really should, go back and make a list of all the actors you hate.
There's a lot of them.
I know! There are so many!
Were they on SNL? Odds are I don't like them. With the exception of the original cast and the group that helped put out Ghostbusters.
Which was practically the original cast.
Yeah. Well, no, the new Ghostbusters.
Oh, that was one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pretty wide span of SNL actors you don't like.
Yes. Chevy Chase.
He was an original.
He's an exception.
How do you feel about Eddie Murphy?
I like Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
But my original experience with Eddie Murphy is not on SNL. Because we weren't watching SNL.
Okay.
When he was on it. But, David Spade, Rob
Schneider,
Chris
Kattan, Farley,
both. David Spade and Chris Farley did that one movie first, and then they made it again 3 different times with 3 different names on it.
Which one was that?
It was Black Sheep.
Okay.
And then there was another one.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I don't know which one of those 2 was first.
Yeah.
And they made 3 of them. And then there was
3 buddy movies.
Yeah. And then there was the one where he was a ninja.
So, Adam Sandler?
Hell no. Hell no. There hasn't been... No.
Across the board, nothing good.
Nope.
Alright.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that. Them's the
Alright, so
facts, Jack.
you don't like people who are on SNL,
I don't like
generally speaking.
people on SNL when they decide to make movies.
With the exception of the Blues Brothers and Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Okay. Wayne's World?
I appreciate its place in pop culture.
Okay. Because it was just so far outside of what Saturday Night Live was doing.
Well, the difference with that one is it took a skit and it made it bigger. And I appreciate that. And that's the same thing with Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers was not necessarily a skit, because it's something they used to do, to warm up the crowds or whatever. But it was something that started on there as an organic idea and then made bigger.
Okay.
So I appreciate that.
Alright, so... Unrelated to this movie entirely, and semi-unrelated to Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
How do you feel about Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Who?
Strange Brew?
Oh, from SCTV?
Yeah.
I love them.
Okay. That's... Just want to make sure that was the thing.
I love SCTV.
And their spin-off movie?
He's perfectly fine.
Okay.
No problem whatsoever.
I'll add that one to the list.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
Alright. Anyway.
We should just do an entire podcast on... Let's just quiz me. Hate, don't hate, why?
That's a, like, do live event with our listener.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Hi, Maggie. Anywho.
Well, I'm sure we can get other listeners to, like, phone in questions.
Alright, kids. Because you're all younger than me. Get a list going.
Yeah, if you have questions for things Heather loves or hates, please submit it to... Shit, you all know how to get a hold of us.
dadmpod@gmail.com.
That, too, works.
Also the Twitter thing.
Yep. Okay. So, back to The Mummy.
Some of the effects held up.
Some of them definitely did not. Like, it seemed like the smaller the effect,
The better.
The worse it aged.
No. I think the opposite. Like the bug under the skin thing, that was okay.
What?
The walking, talking mummy? No.
The bug under the skin thing was terrible. The summoning the spirit from the pool didn't age well. But, like, the big shot at the beginning of... it was a special effect cityscape.
Right.
Like, oh, this isn't so bad. I mean, the way that dude's walking is a little bit clunky, but I can forgive it knowing how good computers were in 1999.
Well, and the big sand, with the face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Yeah, because it was a giant effect.
Yeah.
That, like, oh, we understand that is sand.
Yes.
So it can look a little shitty.
Right. It doesn't have to be sharp. The point is it's not a sharp face. But any of the practical interactive effects, bad.
What? Like when he's fighting the zombies with a sword?
Yeah.
I would say those weren't great. It was better than I was expecting, and, compare it to, like, Harryhausen movies.
What?
Ray Harryhausen? A combination of stop motion and live action.
Okay. Such
like
as?
The Seven Adventures of Sinbad, or something.
How about a movie I've actually seen?
I will need to look one up.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, holding in a sneeze.
It's alright.
So, the interactive CG, horrible.
Agree to disagree.
When he was kissing her face,
And his face started melting?
yeah, like in the bed, bad.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
It was bad.
I think it did what it needed to.
But the two were obviously not... it was... This is obviously not on her face. It was supposed to be on her face. Should have been on her face. Well, it was not on her face.
If you say so.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's not a big deal.
Whatever. Gaslight.
I am trying to not do that. It's so hard.
Sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
Giving all your love to just one priest who gets brutally murdered because you're an adulterer? You both get brutally murdered.
Yeah.
So I think the theme of this movie was, stay faithful, everyone.
Okay. Don't get buried alive with bugs, because that sounds like it sucks.
Because you were sleeping with your boss's wife?
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, there's... Like, I understand, like, this is a movie, so you have to have, like, some kind of action that sets the story going.
Right.
So you can't really have a mummy without someone being murdered.
Well, you can't really have a curse.
You can't have a curse if everything's hunky-dory.
Yes.
Okay.
And since the whole point was a curse, it had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drinking in this movie.
There is so much drinking in this movie.
Although, when I said drink to the brother at the beginning, I think I was saying drink for this movie.
Because you wanted to
No, because I forgot I'd seen this movie.
Like, do you want to drink to remember or drink to forget?
No, it was like, oh, we drink for this guy. He's been in another... I'm referring to this movie. Never mind.
Right. Well,
He's been in a lot of things, but...
like, the poster is just a face of sand and some pyramids.
Right, so you can drink for everybody.
Yeah, you can drink for anyone in this movie. So, we should probably just go down the cast list.
Yeah, well, it's one of those where you drink for the entire cast, because it's not,
Mm-hmm.
My most notable drink?
Yes.
We can narrow it down to those.
Okay. Your favorite drinks?
Yes, is Captain Winkler.
Winkler.
The dude from Bewitched.
Oh. Yeah, Bernard Fox.
Yeah.
Winston Havelock.
Yes.
Who I thought, like, when they just called him Winston, like, oh, is that a drunk Churchill just in Africa for funsies? Like, he was a big man.
Yep.
His name is Winston.
Yep.
He's somehow involved in the British military.
Yep. Yes, he was my favorite drink because I recognized him from Bewitched.
Okay.
Who is your favorite drink?
I'm gonna say Oded Fair played Ardeth Bay.
Okay.
He was Resident Evil Extinction and Resident Evil Apocalypse are what I recognize him from.
Are those movies or games?
Those are movies. I've not made you watch any of the Resident Evil movies.
Nope.
Okay. It looks like a lot of what he gets cast in as... Your skin's kind of brown looking. Let's cast you as ethnic guy.
Yeah.
Which, like, in this...
Sod, that's the name.
In this movie, is like... Like, I went through and checked some. I'm like, okay, that guy is British Iranian.
Yeah.
That's kind of close to Egypt. This other dude is Israeli. Yeah. That's neighboring. Like,
what was the Israelis guy's name?
That's Oded Fair as Ardeth Bay.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was Israeli.
Yeah, and I know him from, like, Covert Affairs.
Yeah.
And he plays, like, Mossad agents.
Mm-hmm.
Military... Mossad is like the Israeli CIA, I believe.
Yeah.
And so he gets cast in that a lot.
Yeah, he played Mossad Deputy Director Ilan Bodnar in NCIS.
Yep. And, person of interest, or not person of interest, but...
Ra's al Ghul in Young Justice.
Oh.
There's a bunch of Batman stuff, too.
Cool.
Batman!
Alright, he's quickly becoming my second favorite drink for this movie.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
He was on Charmed.
Was he?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know.
He was also on Covert Affairs.
Yes.
Which is where I initially recognized him from, but he has done a lot of stuff.
So yeah, I did kind of go through and, like... Is this person playing an Egyptian... Any kind of Egyptian? Like, Egypt adjacent.
Yeah.
Which... That's better than you get nowadays.
True.
Which is, we're going to cast this white person to play someone who is Japanese. You're going to what?
So apparently, there is, I believe, a live-action Aladdin that's being made.
Yes, I guess there is.
And I saw a meme on the book face that was basically commenting on, well, you can't find any...
brown-skinned people to sing and dance.
But you can find them to play terrorists?
Yeah. Well, there's that, and it's like, guys, Bollywood is absolutely a thing.
Yeah!
I understand that India is not all that close to Saudi Arabia.
However...
But it's probably easier to import Bollywood movies to Saudi Arabia than it is to get... Maybe American movies? I don't know. It's less far to travel.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this wasn't as whitewashed as it
could have been.
Right. As traditionally.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they won't have trouble casting Jafar. because he's the brown-skinned bad guy.
That's true. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's all.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to touch on with. They actually managed to cast people who weren't that far away.
No, which is nice. For once.
And, like, none of them were, like, stereotypics.
No.
Or stereotypical, like, bad guys.
No.
Because the bad guy was the bad guy.
The bad guy was the dead thing.
Yeah. The bad guy's henchman, Benny, was... I mean,
was Benny really a bad guy?
He was a henchman.
No.
See, that's bad guy adjacent.
Benny was just, I want to be with the winning side.
Yeah, bad guy adjacent.
He just, easy way out.
Yeah, bad guy adjacent.
Okay, fine, bad guy adjacent.
It's like when we meet him, he's Brendan Fraser's pal, who abandons him when, there's an army charging at them.
Yeah.
When we meet him again, he's picked up some Americans, and he says, like, no, these ones are smart. They're paying me half now and half when they return, so I can't just let them rot in the desert.
Yeah.
Because that seems like the kind of thing that he has done.
Wait, he did?
Yeah. And, like, when he's about to get eaten by the mummy, he pulls out a, like, practically Mr. T level number of necklaces with various religious symbols on them.
Yep.
And pulls one out and starts praying in whatever native language that's cool with. And once he gets to the Star of David, the mummy's like, oh, slave language. You could be useful.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right. Egypt and Israel. Or Egypt and Jews.
Yep.
It's a long, storied history.
Yep.
That story is the Old Testament.
True facts.
So, like, and let me just look up where Benny's actor is from. It's probably Chicago.
Because they've been doing so well so far?
Yeah. Benny Gabor, which... Oh, yeah, born in 1963 in Chicago.
Huh.
So I don't know where his character's origin is, but...
Right.
There
you go.
Well, he was in the Foreign Legion, so it could have been from anywhere, which would explain the numerous religious icons that he's carrying.
Right.
So again, the bad guy is not a brown-skinned bad guy for the sake of being a brown-skinned bad guy.
No.
So I think this movie did a lot of things well. Mostly in casting.
Yes. I will agree with that.
Alright.
Do I want to watch this movie again? Meh.
Not in a hurry?
No, because apparently it's not such a great movie that I remember seeing it until I'm halfway through the movie going, oh, that's why I remember the actor, because I already saw this movie.
I would watch this again.
It's not a memorable movie. It's not, like, an iconic...
I would watch this maybe once a year.
Well, then maybe we should look into owning it.
Maybe. I'm going to say it doesn't pass the Bechdel test, because she was the only woman.
True facts.
Well, there was also the dead woman, but she was 3,000 years old and didn't have any lines after she commits suicide at the beginning.
Nope, doesn't pass the Bechdel.
Passes diversity.
Yep.
For reasons that we've already just discussed.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly well.
I would watch this if it was on TV.
I'd watch it if it was on at the bar.
Yeah, because there are probably going to be worse things to watch.
Yeah, one of the other televisions, it had sports.
That's fair. Alright, so we're good for this week?
Hopefully we'll be back on track.
Hopefully.
Thank you for listening to this episode of DADM.
Our theme music was provided by bensound.com.
You can download us from SoundCloud, iTunes, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Follow us on Twitter at DADMpod, like us on Facebook, or email us at dadmpod@gmail.com.
We'll see you next week. I'm a snotty, snotty mess.